What's up with the do YouTube? I got a special guest. First of all, I want to appreciate y'all stepping into the room 611. You got credit guy MKE right here. Thank you for stepping on.
Man, appreciate you, man, for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm your host, Jalen Harris. This is Lamont Smith. Man, we've been trying to set this up for a little minute now. We've been trying to set this up for a little minute now. It took a little minute to get here, but finally here. So we're gonna give them what they deserve.
Let's get it.
All right, so obviously a little background about us. I know you from the barbershop. We both go to John Gaden Experience.
The best barber in the city.
The best barber in the city. It wasn't just me that said it. Y'all heard it in a few other videos that I said, but tell y'all.
Best barber in the city. I want to check him out.
We got to get him on here too, but he just be busy, y'all. But I always see you. We have a genuine conversation about life, relationships, or if it's credit or whatever it is. It's always a genuine time in the barbershop. But first of all, I want to know what was your upbringing like? Because from what I heard, you grew up in the inner city, as like most of us in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And did you grow up with a single parent? Did you have both your parents? How was it growing up?
So for me, I grew up in Chicago.
Oh wow!
So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, the Ida B. Wells, and a single parent. My dad was in the Navy, and I never seen him alive. I think I seen him when I was 7. And that's about it until I got grown. So my mom pretty much raised us on her own. It's 5 of us. She raised us. My twin uncles got murdered in Chicago, and imagine seeing that when you're a teenager.
Oh, you see like that.
You see brains on the floor. Things like that it's trauma, right? So my mother moved us to Milwaukee, which probably was the best thing she ever did for us. Because at the time when we came, Milwaukee wasn't Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Now it's a little, it's a little out of hand.
Yeah.
But when we came, man, it was awesome, man. And she worked 3 jobs, so I had to babysit my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And
So where do you fall in the line with your siblings? Are you?
I'm actually the oldest.
Okay, I am too.
I'm the oldest, and I got 3 brothers and then sisters. So,
So how was your relationship with your dad?
You want the truth?
This what we hear. That's what they want to hear.
And I think for me, being a father myself, I understand forgiveness, because it can't be all him. You feel what I'm saying? It can't always be the man that's not in the kid's life because he don't want to. Well, that mother played a part. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I forgive him or whatever it may be. Actually, the whole family I forgave him because my grandmother didn't want nothing to do with me when I was younger on his side because of my skin tone, my skin complexion. And, they took care of my brother and them, or whatever it may be. But with me, my eyes was gray. I don't know how, but they were. And they didn't want nothing to do with me, man. And, I forgave everybody because it is what it is. It's life.
I understand. So, is it true that you had a kid at a young age?
Man, so look, you don't have no direction. Like for me, man, coming from where I come from, when I came here, I grew up on 45th and North, right? From North to Center, that's where I was at. And I didn't have a father figure, bro, and I like women. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, all I knew is reading because I read a lot because I had a speech impediment, didn't nobody want to talk to me. You feel what I'm saying? So I read a lot. And, I like women. So, yeah, I had my son when I was 14 years old.
14 years old.
He and my boy doing good now, but 14 years old, she was 13. And true story, they actually wanted to lock me up for that. Like real life felony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Real life coming from school and the detective sitting outside my house.
That's crazy.
And
I never knew that.
Yeah, and my mom had to take care of that, to make sure nothing, But I went on to do some great things.
Yeah,
whatever.
most definitely. We're gonna get to that too.
So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah,
So how did they reconstruct your life at that time? What knowing now that you was facing time, so did you what I don't even know what to really say because I never knew that, so I'm kind of shocked.
I would say this, dude, like, as parents, we have to stand up for our kids. And that's what my mom did for me. If my mother didn't do that for me, bro, I would have a felony on my name and I'd be a sex offender.
Yeah.
which means I can't stay here or I can't do this or that. You get what I'm saying? But my mom was there. No, my son, she willingly gave this to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
That's crazy.
And I went on to do I worked in, the House of Corrections and, Racine Correctional and things like that. So
that's good. I never knew that. That's insane to know.
no.
So years later, you got a job to be a security guard, but you grew to do better things, like you said, to go to college for your master's and your bachelor's and your master's.
Yeah.
What were you thinking in that process? Like, I don't know if I want to go to college. Like, should I go to college? And but how hard was that? How hard was it to do
go
that?
to college? We have to start at high school. I went to high school at Madison, and I'm talking about 0.8, y'all, right? 0.8 GPA, 1.8 GPA, because my mind was focused on the wrong things. Just like a lot of our kids these days, we focus on dressing. We're not focused on the books, right? The books would change our life. I didn't know that then. You know what I'm saying? And I got my GED because I didn't graduate. I took the GED test like 3 or 4 times because I couldn't pass math. Why I couldn't pass math? Because I had females doing my math homework in school, right? Because I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just being real. Like, we not as focused as we should be as African American males.
Yeah.
The system is set up for us to fail, and we fall right into that trap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, college, I knew, for me, I was running away from my speech impediment. You know what I'm saying? So, I know how to say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law, whatever, right? Well, I know how to say that. Other things I didn't know. I knew how to say that because they taught me that in class. So I went on to be a correctional officer out in Racine, like the real prison. You know what I'm saying? And that was an experience. You know what I'm saying? And then so on and so on, the police forces and all that stuff trying to apply. But yeah.
At what age did you go? So what age did you go to college?
I got my GED at 18, 19. And about 21 or something. 20. Cause I had my oldest daughter, yeah.
Do you not regret the time, but what would you change from high school? What would you change while you were in high school? Would you pick up better study habits?
No, with high school, it never was study habits. It was just the focus. Our focus. I promise you, my focus was on dressing. Like Madison was a fashion show. So whoever had, you know what I'm saying? And then the females, right?
Yeah.
So my mind wasn't on no books, bro. Yeah. It ain't that I didn't know. It's that I knew, but,
Blessing in disguise for sure, though?
Yeah, definitely. Because I went on to get my associate's, bachelor's, master's, and I got my doctorate degree last year on June 4th in Atlanta.
Congratulations.
So, it's nothing we can't do when we change our mindset.
That's what I be trying to tell a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of people have a problem with consistency. Yeah. It's just being consistent, and you just gotta have a straight tunnel vision.
So think about it. If you can't be consistent with yourself, you can't be consistent with nothing else.
Nothing else at all.
You feel what I'm saying?
Nothing
That's
else
all of us.
Yeah.
So what do you do consistently on a daily basis? Well, I know I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, consistently, without an alarm clock. I know I'm reading these books every day. You know what I mean? So it's just structure. It comes down to structure.
How long did it take you to get that structure, though?
I don't know. So I can go back from when I was young. My mother taught me how to budget money at a young age because it was just her bringing in money. So I knew certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? It comes from your upbringing. Funny story. So it ain't funny, but I had a guy. He's a Caucasian guy. He said, "Man, at our dinner table, we talked about financial literacy. We talked about budgeting. We talked about future things, insurance, right?" And I said, "Damn, man, at our dinner table, we talked about the next pair of Jordans coming out, right? The next pair, true religion, whatever it is. Like, we talked about fashion stuff that don't have nothing to do with taking us to the next level.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
That's our environment, which sucks. We got to change that.
It always starts at the top.
It starts at home, man. Instilling certain things in your kids.
Yeah, and that's just with relationships or
everything.
Friendships. Yeah, whatever you trying to do. If you don't start at the top, your kids and nobody's gonna stay well
at all. Cause trauma is real.
Trauma is.
So if I seen my mom get beat on, and it's true, right? I seen my mom get beat, and she stayed with him. Right? As a young boy, our mind had changed. Like, man, that's how you keep your woman. If we're not careful, bro. And then we all end up in prison. 87% recidivism rate. You feel what I'm saying? And majority of it is black and brown people. Which sucks because it's set up for us to fail. But it ain't clicked yet for us.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take to change though. Well, obviously from what I said, it's gonna start at the top, but it can be more than that. But the youth it really starts with the youth.
Yeah.
So around my age, so I'm 21 years old. Around my age, we have to all click, and if we don't do that, it's nothing that's gonna change at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
So once you got out of college, you found your niche, which is credit.
Yep.
How did you know that was your niche and that was something special? What led you to go into credit first of all? Did you have credit debt or?
So of course I had a lot of student loans. You know what I'm saying?
Like all of us.
Everybody did. But I got married, and man, my wife always made more money than me. You know what I'm saying? Like when we got married, I'm gonna be honest, I was flat broke. Like I didn't have no money. I married her after 6 months, even us knowing each other.
Is that the woman that you're still with now?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And all I can do is afford a $600 ring. I don't know if it was real or fake, but I ordered it, and you know she had it on all the way up until our 10th year anniversary.
That's what's up.
And I got her something that I felt like she deserved. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like, so she always made 100 and some thousand. When I left corrections, I went on to make $10.75 an hour, $12.75 an hour as a security guard. Right? It wasn't until I had Gabe that I got a job with Community Advocates as a social worker.
What's Community Advocates, if you don't mind sharing?
Community Advocates is a nonprofit that help people in the community, whether they need rent assistance, they need food share, anything like that. They there to help you. So you should visit them if you need that. But I got that job, dude, and it changed my mindset about people. Right? It made me really, really start to care about other people. I was a selfish little something dude. Yeah. It was all about me, right? But Community Advocates made me really, really care. So I wasn't there for the money, but I loved seeing those people and being able to put a smile on their face, right? So when it came to credit, I'm like, dang, it's both. You know what I'm saying? So I just started working on me. And I'm like, dang, in four months, I was up to a 684 from a 530. I'm like, dang, what did I do? So I'm going back, trying to get the process in order. Okay, now I'm gonna help my brother, right? Now I'm gonna bring my mama credit up and things like that. So it started to work for me. I didn't have no intentions on starting no business because at the end of the day, like I told you, I had a speech impediment since I was 2. My family in Chicago, they always made fun of me. You know, I never had that voice, you know what I'm saying? Because people didn't listen to me, you feel me? And I just ran away from the spotlight, and I still do. I don't like it. You know,
I don't like having a lot of attention on me.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, this is just something that I love. I don't like spotlight.
I don't like this neither. But it's my man, so you know. But so credit was like, okay. My buddy came to me and said, man, you doing all this stuff for free. Dude, just start charging people. And for me, like if I can put a smile on your face, that's a win for me. It's always been the impact over the income.
Facts.
Because I always believe as long as you do right by God's people, God gonna always take care of you. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't really think about the money per se, because I never chase money. The more you chase money, the more it run away from you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So we started a business. It was called Right Track Credit, right? It was 3 of us. And
who are the 2 other people that
Cameron, and his name Beekman.
Okay.
And always been the brains of the operation. You know, I'm a Virgo, so we gonna figure it out. We gonna study. You know what I'm saying? It got to be structured right and things like that. So I was kind of that back person, you know. But if things not going the way I want them to go, and you putting all the burden on me, I might as well do it by myself. You feel me? So I gave that company to them, and whatever was with it, and that's where the credit guy came from. Right? I had my buddy making emoji because I had a book coming out, right? So it was just supposed to have been for that, and I ended up keeping it running with it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on business and not do personal because I didn't want to step on their toes. But at the end of the day, people that need business credit and funding and things like that, well, they need their personal fix sometimes too. So it just brought me right back into it. You know what I'm saying? But credit is a wonderful thing. Credit can change your life if you allow it. Because man, everybody want money, but I'd rather have credit. I got $1.3 million in credit cards and lines of credit. It's just understanding credit and knowing how to use it and leverage it for you and your family. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think that, because a lot of people that's not our race don't understand credit.
Right.
What do you think is the most misconstrued thing about credit when?
Well, I think right now, the most misconception about credit is that you can have a 700 credit score in 30 days and 60 days and all that crap that Facebook, YouTube, and all these people tell you. Credit takes time, bro. Mm-hmm. Right? This ain't that. Right? This ain't no race to get there. But what are you gonna do with it when you do get there? Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know. They go buy a car, which is a liability, right? Unless you
car is liability.
Right? It's liability. And I'm only gonna tell you one time that car looked nice. Mm-hmm. My truck, you probably told me one time it looked nice.
Yeah, that's what we do it for. We do it for people. We want to hear people.
Whether we say it or not, bro, everything we do, the way we dress, the way I get my hair cut, and things like that, the way you get your dress, right? We do for other people, bro.
We do it for other people.
Right? Yeah. And if we're not secure in ourselves, we'll get lost, right? But either way, that car, I'm going to tell you one time, you're going to go buy that car. You're going to go buy a house because you feel like you got to keep up with the Joneses when you can rent and still own properties. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But we don't understand that, right? We're so in a rush to get something that we're not prepared for, right? So credit is that thing. If you fumble, right? I'm gonna put in your turn. Yeah. If you fumble your credit, it's an uphill battle to get it back, right? Yeah. And not saying that you can't, because you can, but just don't think it's like that.
Yeah, it takes
you know what I'm saying?
Longer.
And if it is like that, I guarantee you the stuff gonna come back, because it's a difference in removing things and discharging debt. You feel
what
I'm saying?
What do you mean by discharge debt?
Discharging debt meaning the debt is already paid for, right? That debt paid for. When you got a collection on your account, that debt's been paid. So why they coming at you? But yeah, so credit is wonderful, bro. I promise you. It can really. I done bought houses on credit. Credit is nice.
So what doesn't the government tell us about credit then?
Man, that don't nobody give us anything. Meaning, if I go apply for a Capital One card ain't giving me a credit card. Mm-hmm. They extended me credit because credit is already ours.
Also,
when you was born $1 million baby, right? And I shouldn't be doing this because my wife told me don't do this. However, but look. When you was born, you was $1 million baby because I'm gonna use me. On my birth certificate, it say Lamont Smith in all caps. Right? That ain't my name though. My name is L lowercase a. No, that's the English language and how we write our names, right? And long story short, you gotta trust with your name on it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I got you. I do remember you. So I do remember you telling me that.
And I would say this to your people, right? You never got a bill that said negative. If you did, just send him your cash app and I'll send you some money.
That is true.
Guaranteed.
That is true.
Which means everything that we got, the bills that we pay, is already paid for. So you got to change your mindset about you, about the system. The government is a business, bro.
Yeah.
If you go on Dunn and Bradstreet, the United States of America is a corporation. A corporation is a what?
Corporation business.
It's a business. We are part of that business, and they get money off of us. Yeah. For real, bro. They got to trust, right? We got to trust in that name. You know what I'm saying? We got insurance. They put our money on the stock market. For real. Everybody get paid, but us.
I believe.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
But we don't know because we worry about what we got on. We worry about stuff that don't matter.
We don't educate ourselves.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, bottom of the line.
But yeah.
So, I know you got something to do, so it's a few more questions that I got to ask. But, you have credit, you have classes that teach about credit. What's the best, what's the one that you recommend to somebody that's in the middle class or at a lower class? And then which one would you recommend for the people that's at a higher class?
I think learning how to leverage credit is the game. Like, so I'll be amiss if I don't say this, right? So for me, I always had credit cards. When I met my mentor, I had maybe 500,000 credit cards.
Well, I'm gonna stop you right there. How many credit cards would you recommend having though?
As many as you can for leverage purpose, but you got to understand it though in order to maximize that credit.
I got you.
So I met my mentor mainly because here at home I reached out to some people. I said, "Hey man, I need some help. Like my business is growing. What do I do? What do you suggest?" And things like that. Like I got this credit and I don't even know what to do with it. So what I'm saying, y'all, I didn't know it all, right? So what that means is go get you a mentor. Number one, right?
Who was your mentor?
His name is him 500. So I normally don't throw names out there, but so I fly to Atlanta and Dallas and I kind of hook up with them. And it ain't in a point. Some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't. But just like your parents, you take what you agree with and you leave what you don't. I'm gonna leave it that, right? So he said, man, he taught me how to leverage credit. That's number one. When you got good credit, you got to learn how to leverage credit, right? In leveraging credit, you learn how to shop for free. You learn how to fly for free. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot you can do with it. Yeah. Like I said, I done bought houses on American Express card. You know what I'm saying? Took the money off, right? And bought a house for $90K. Okay? Got back. Three months later, got 158 off the house.
Oh, wow.
Paid the car back. You got to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from my upbringing because my mama taught me that early. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're
but
saying.
If we not taught that, we just out here like, I got what? Man, let me go buy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So learning how to leverage credit is so key. Learning who you are and rebuilding your credit, right? Learning consumer law, right? Understanding that our whole life they've been telling us we are citizens of the United States, which is fine. I have no problem with it. But when it comes to that, come to credit, we're a consumer. As a consumer, we have a right to privacy. And privacy means what it is to you. Do you feel me? Which means we control our credit report. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so learning that in the restoration process, USC 15 USC 1692G, which is validation of debt. Understanding that if Freighter send me a letter in the mail, right, and say, hey, your bill is due, whatever it may be, and I don't pay them in 3 months, they're going to write off on their profit and loss statement. And when they write off on their profit and loss statement, that means they got paid for it. And if they got paid for it, where's your 1099-C? Because they gave you a gift. The IRS says anything over $600 is a gift. And if I give you a gift, bro, you got to file it on your taxes. Right?
Yeah.
So where's that? Right? So understanding all these things, credit is really complex. And if you want to win in it, you got to understand certain things. So here come AmeriCollect. They come on and they say, hey, Lamont, I just purchased this debt. And I'm paraphrasing. I purchased this debt from Freighter. And they say you owe $1,600, right? And they say, well, you got 30 days to validate this debt. Which tells me that code I just blurted out told me that I'm the only one can validate that debt. Which means if I just respond to them, they can't put it on my credit.
So are you saying if I don't answer that, if I answer it, then it's fine without me paying? Is that what you're saying? Or
I would never tell you not to pay nothing that's yours. That's not yours.
Yeah.
You owe Freighter, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Let's just get that clear. However, you don't owe AmeriCollect.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't owe them, right? So in a letter that you write, I would say, don't Google templates. Always make things you. You know what I mean? Just don't take a template to take it and send off. You know what I mean? So you got to ask questions. The thing that we don't do, we don't ask questions. Okay. We don't tell them what we want. Meaning, send me the information that states I owe you. AmeriCollect can't send you nothing that's saying you owe them because you don't. They don't have a contract with you, right?
That's true.
So it's just things like that in the restoration process. But understanding this, because I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with credit repair companies, right? And that's fine, right? A lot of them don't educate. Our problem in our industry, the education is missing. So for me, moving over to the education, then doing it for people. So now more so, I got some partners in the community, CFIs and banks and stuff like that, that allow me to come in and just really give people the sauce that they need to either rebuild or leverage or whatever they want to do with their credit. But no, you have to add positive items. So if you signed up with somebody and you ain't doing your part, then that's on you, right? Because if you rent somewhere, you should have a Boom Pay account.
What's a Boom Pay?
Boom Pay reports your rent, right, to all 3 credit reporting agencies, right? In 10 to 15 days for $2 a month. That's 45 or so points on your credit, right? It ain't that we don't have credit or our credit is bad. A lot of us struggle because the mix of credit is off. So you add a Boom Pay, you know what I'm saying? You can add Kickoff, you can add Self, you can add Extra, which is a debit card, but it's gonna report as a credit card, which is gonna give you that 165.5 points of your score that you may be missing. But people don't tell you this. What I'm saying is that education is missing.
How'd you learn that though? Like just reading? Just basically?
Yeah, dude, I read all, that's all I do. Because this is my stuff. I don't do nothing else. This all I do.
So what books would you recommend to somebody that was in the same shoes as you like 5 to 10 years ago?
Man, I would say get the Black Law Dictionary, because it's gonna tell you true dictionary and definitions and stuff like that. Webster give us what they want to give us because it's controlled by somebody, but we're not gonna go through that. So get the Black Law because it's gonna tell you what a person is, right? It's gonna tell you what things are, like the true definitions. And then find your credit repair book. I have one. It's called The Blueprint: 10 Ways to Improve Your Credit. I have a credit, and I got an ebook. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. It's called The Cheat Code, and it's giving you how to clean your credit report in 14 days, right? And maximizing your letters and all them kind of stuff. What to add and all that kind of stuff. I got The Business, where it talks about structuring your business. A lot of times we start businesses. I ain't gonna say we start hobbies. Meaning I started a hobby because you doing it, bro, right? I never started a business because I never did know it. I didn't structure it, right? I don't have a bank account, right? I started at my house, which is cool if you have a house business, right? Something like a daycare, whatever it may be. But if I got a credit, now I gotta go get me an office, a virtual office, or go get you a real office, right? You wanna look lendable. Because for me, the goal is always to use somebody else's money. Right? Your goal should be always to use somebody else's money, and then understanding every bank is required to give us $50,000. Right? So if you know that and you know the requirements and your credit's solid and you got an assignment for your money, don't take no money if you don't have an assignment for it. You know what I mean? You good.
I'm gonna ask this last question. I'm gonna get you up out of here. I know. Well, I'm gonna revert back to what you said about your relationship. You married your wife, your wife now, in 6 months. What made you be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this?
Dude, so look, I was out here bad, man. Like, I had a lot of stuff going on. It was a dark place, and this lady came into my life. Like, we had a class together. We had a science class in college. You know, I didn't like her because she talked a lot. I couldn't stand a woman that talked a lot, right?
Yeah. I feel you.
But I had got, I started going to church, getting the word, really learning about who I am. The first thing, what we have to do as people, we got to learn ourselves.
Yeah, a lot of us don't hear.
We don't know ourselves. You got to look at, it's a song I listen to every morning. It's called Man in the Mirror.
Yep.
Right? It allowed me to look at myself before I go out here and do what I do for people, right? So with that, it allowed me to look and say, man, I have to make some changes, right? So I met her again. She hit me up on Facebook. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Everything good? I'm like, yeah. I was happy, bro, right? So we went out a couple times, and I was just liking the vibe, bro. And I've been out here, so I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? I know what I've been through, and I don't want to go through that again. And I kind of was pushing her off because I felt like I was going to hurt her. And I felt like she was too good for me to hurt. Because I was going to cheat. I've never been faithful to a woman ever until I got married. You know what I'm saying? So I was scared that I was going to do something that was going to jeopardize that relationship.
Exactly how you feel.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I had two daughters in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
So I got two.
With her or?
No. different women.
Mm-hmm.
I got four baby mamas, and yeah. So what I'm saying is like, you gotta be willing to change in order for your situation to change. And I was willing to make that change and be committed to one person, and the rest is history.
How did you make sure y'all got through the ups and downs? Because from what I know for a fact that a relationship is never going to be.
We gotta understand. If God wanted us to agree all the time, He'll make us the same. Right?
Yeah.
And because He didn't make us the same, it's okay to have disagreements, not arguments. It's okay to have a disagreement.
Yeah.
Right? Because I ain't got time to argue. We're gonna have a disagreement because we're a normal person. So we have those, and it's fine. It's life, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, and we don't blast our business on social media. And
I'm not supposed to. I'm glad he said that because a lot of people in our generation, I don't do it, but a lot of people in our generation always go to the media about, oh, I'm getting into it with this. I don't like this. Bro, it's not for them to know.
It ain't for everybody to know.
For y'all to, it's not for them to know.
Because now you look crazy when y'all make up, because you gonna make up. You know what I'm saying? So for me, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have our issues and we go about our business. Because the love is genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't because the way she look. For us, we get caught up on looks. We gotta get out of that, bro. Because what about the inside?
Yeah, the inside. She might be a 10 on the outside,
but
she's dirty on the
inside. You know what
Terrible
I'm saying?
on the
But
inside.
we don't look at that, right?
Yeah, that's
we
true.
never look at that,
That's
bro. But yeah, man.
I got you. I learned a lot today about Lamont Smith, the credit guy. Like I said, the credit guy, MKE. Thank you for coming on my show.
I would say this, y'all always support them. I would say this too, if anybody is struggling with a speech impediment like I were, that I still do sometimes, like get help. It's okay. It ain't embarrassing, right? It's only gonna make you stronger to get help. If you need help with your credit, man, start working on your credit because your credit gonna take you and your family to the next level, right? Get with some people that's really, really gonna pour into you what it is that you need to be successful at this one life that we have.
Make sure y'all keep God first because without Him, we not going nowhere. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my show. And be tuned into the next episode.